Last year I was perfect. I mean, because I wasn't 100% on my top level regarding results and physical shape. I was waiting for the shape so long. I mean, something was wrong last year, definitely, because the year before I jumped to 208, and last year only I jumped to 205. In spite of that, I won Europeans and a few awards after my season. So I was really happy because, you know, during the season I was very depressed, and it was the hardest season I think for me ever. So this year I would like to improve the level of result regarding last year, and of course World Championships is the most important competition in this year. Of course, I build up to the big event. Of course, you know, you cannot be in top shape for 3 months. It's usually only 1 month. But from the moment that you stop with the hard trainings, then you are better every meet, and in that way you build your shape. I'm trying to win every competition. Doesn't matter in which shape I am. Usually I am able to jump around 2 meters, and I'm able to fight every time for the first place. This year was a little different because my first meet was only 194 because we trained really hard, and we knew that I needed those trainings in order to get in real shape when it's important for Daegu, and also I need that like a base for Olympic Games. So we were training really hard and stopped just a few days before Shanghai. So I went there only like to break the ice. I knew I was tired. I knew it wasn't my time to jump big heights. It's much harder that people think that I'm the favorite than when you're not favorite. Then if nobody counts on you, then you know you can just be free of pressure. But ever since 2007, when I won in Osaka World Championships, I'm dealing with this pressure of great expectations. And when you add when you add my expectations, then it's a huge ball of expectations that it's, of course, making a big pressure. But I think that being experienced means that you can handle this pressure, and every year it's easier. But of course, when you're talking about World Championships, it never gets too easy. It never gets easy. It's always a big meet. It's always huge stress, and doesn't matter how many goals, how many World Championships you've been in before, and how many gold medals you have. It's just every time it's like the first time. And because you know it's only one meet, and what happens in that 2 hours happens. It's finished, you know. It is focused, but it's like I'm not thinking about that too much, you know. The most important competition for me is my next competition, and in that way I'm just keeping myself calm. And I mean, what would it be like if I start to think about London now? I mean, to think about it for 1 year, you know, all the time, you just go crazy, and you come there and just, you're like emotionally empty completely. So I'll think about London when it comes time, you know, when I know it's my next competition, I will start to think. And that's my policy all the time, you know. I even don't think about Daegu. Okay, I know I need to go there, I need to be in great shape, but still, you know, it's not the time to think about it. Being Olympic champion is, I think, the dream of every athlete. It's one of my few dreams, one of my few goals, and it's very hard because it's only every 4 years. That's what makes it special, because, you know, so you have like 3 or 4 real chances in your career to be Olympic champion. So it's not easy. It's not easy to survive a period in between. As I said, to make through all those seasons in between, to stay healthy, and to come there and be able to say I'm fighting for a gold. So and then do it. So it's definitely not easy, but it would be nice. But I don't think that London is my last chance, definitely. Yeah, world record motivates me, of course, but I'm not obsessed about it. I think everybody else are more obsessed because everybody asks me about that. And they say, what is 1 more centimeter? It's not so big. But as my father says, you don't have to jump 1 more centimeter. I need to jump 208 plus 1. So I need to lift the pyramid, the whole pyramid for 1 centimeter, not only to climb on fingers on the top. So it's a huge job, it's a huge work, you know. I remember when I jumped 208, it was just the perfect day, the perfect competition, perfect conditions. I felt great, you know. And you don't get that every day, you don't get at every meet, you know. So everything needs to come in its place in order to do that. Maybe I was ready 2 years ago for that. Maybe I will be ready also this year. I hope so. The question is if it's going to be, you know, in one meet that everything that you need comes together. Sometimes, you know, you're feeling perfect, but it's raining. So I'm just waiting for that perfect meet. Yeah, because it's more than my PB, so it means a progress, and I believe in progress because otherwise I probably wouldn't train anymore. I believe that I can go higher, and it doesn't matter if it happens or not. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but I believe it, so that's what keeps me going. No, when I jumped to 08, you could see that it was a good jump, and I could feel that I can do more. So I don't think it's the top of women's possibilities. Every competition is like a matter of being dead or alive for me. So it's a very strong approach, every competition, and it's not easy to handle it because I give so much every competition, emotionally and physically, that afterwards I'm like just very tired. And but I was like that. I was competitive like that since I was a little kid. I mean, when I was just a child, I couldn't even play like those board games. If I wasn't winning, then I wouldn't play. That was just my rule. So I never knew how to lose. I still have very hard memories, very hard memories. I mean, very sad memories from the moments I've lost. But you know, I know it's a part of sport, and sometimes to lose for me means to go on a high level because you always have to learn something. You always have to learn more from losing than from winning. So those hard moments are just sometimes the wake-up calls, and then I would be even better afterwards. But sorry, as I said, yeah, I'm very competitive, and I think everybody should be like this. They give me that few extra percent of motivation, and you know, just jumping in front of an empty stadium is my worst nightmare. So this interaction with the crowd is very important, also for me, but for them. You know, they came there to see a show, and not to see robots who don't know how to show their feelings. So if I'm sad, if I'm not happy with my jumping, I will show it, and if I'm happy, I will show it also. So because I cannot tell them, then I need to show them in some way, and they respond good to this, you know. And they in return they give me support, and I was very happy also, like when it was World Championships in Berlin, and even though I was jumping against my biggest rival in that moment was a German girl, so she was jumping in front of her own home crowd, and they still were clapping for me as strong as for her. It was just amazing, you know, and that's a real sport spirit for me.